honorable audience, good afternoon. Good afternoon from Dubai. I also welcome warmly all the internet attendees who are following us today or later. Following this conference titled Investing in Sustainable Food System. On the behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, we are very happy to be here in Dubai within the Expo 2020 exhibition. This conference will speak about the Moroccan strategies to transform this agricultural sector, the investment opportunities in agriculture, and export dynamics. Furthermore, we will be happy to share our experience on how Morocco prepared, implemented, and paved the way toward a sustainable food system. In this session, we have three panelists. Myself, I'm Ridwan Arash, Director of Strategy and Statistics from the Ministry of Agriculture. And I have with me Madame Rita Ghorfi, General Manager of Foodex. She will talk about the origin Morocco and export opportunities. And Mr. Mehdi Rifi, General Director of Agricultural Development Agency. He will speak about the investment opportunities in agricultural sector. This session will be in English and Arabic speaking, and translation is provided. Thank you.
Morocco is a country that has been blessed by nature, which has shaped it into an agricultural nation. With nearly 9 million hectares under cultivation, agriculture accounts for nearly 19% of GDP and nearly 70% of jobs in the rural areas. Each territory has developed the ability to reap the highest benefits from the land while preserving it for future generations. Products made in Morocco are a whole set that are also tasty, reliable, and wholesome. For generations, farmers have passed on their know-how and their love of good products. Moroccan agriculture is also rooted in the 21st century. The entire production chain is designed to meet the most stringent international standards in terms of quality, traceability, safety, and durability. With Tanger Med, one of the largest ports on the continent, Morocco has the infrastructure to deliver a wide variety of Moroccan products to major international markets. Morocco has thus become the 8th largest exporter of citrus fruits in the world. A premium quality product with well-balanced flavors, it is excellent for your health and very competitive on the markets. Tomatoes are also an exceptional product, and Morocco is the 4th largest exporter worldwide. Moroccan tomatoes offer an intense and well-balanced taste and meet the most stringent international standards. With its 3,500 kilometers of coastline, Morocco boasts one of the world's most abundant fish resources. The sea products are exported as fresh products or processed in canning or freezing factories. Morocco is the world's leading exporter of sardines. Soft fruits are relatively recent in Morocco and include strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. The sector uses the most modern techniques in certified units that meet the highest international standards. Olive trees are mainly used to produce table olives, and Morocco is the world's 3rd largest exporter. Morocco's olive trees also produce high-quality oil with a fruity taste, the high polyphenol content offering multiple health benefits. A land of agriculture, Morocco grows many fresh products, some of which are processed in production units. Argan oil is a local product produced by women's cooperatives and is derived from the argan tree, which is endemic to Morocco. It has exceptional cosmetic properties for the skin. It is also used as a cooking oil and characterized by a delicate hazelnut fragrance. Morocco grows a wide variety of table grapes. Their main advantages are their great quality and early ripening, which opens the doors of many markets. Avocado is a tropical fruit which has adapted perfectly to Moroccan climate conditions. The result is a reliable product with an irreproachable taste. Moroccan agriculture is becoming increasingly environmentally responsible. Areas equipped with drip irrigation are expanding, and priority is given to renewable energy, low carbon footprint, use of new technologies to better control environmental impact, limited use of agricultural inputs, which makes Morocco the best performing country in the Mediterranean region. Morocco Foodex supports farmers' adaptation to sustainability and advises producers on the adoption of good practices. Every year, the organization carries out more than 140,000 quality control operations, involving about 1,400 facilities in order to improve their quality and processes. The digitalization of controls with the implementation of Easy Food Export has simplified and expedited the export process. This daily work ensures the quality, traceability, and reliability of products made in Morocco, which in turn makes them more competitive on the markets. The value of agribusiness exports has doubled in the past decade, reaching more than 62 billion dirhams, which represents 22% of Morocco's total exports. Products made in Morocco are a whole set, so diverse, grown using environmentally friendly principles, adapted to international standards, appealing to the eye and excellent for your health. But their main quality is simply their authentic taste. This is what makes Morocco the kingdom of the taste.
So, Madam Gita Gorfi, General Manager of Morocco Foodex, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Arrash. We were not supposed to start by the export, but it doesn't matter. So we show a quick video about Moroccan food product. But first, I would like to take a couple of minutes just to introduce Morocco Foodex. So we are a public institution under the supervision of the Ministry of Agriculture. We have 4 main missions. The first one is the technical control. So that means that we control all the food that is exported from Morocco. And we do this following the different requirements of the different countries where we export. And we do this through a completely digitalized system. The second mission is the export coordination. So it allows us to have a very close contact with the Moroccan operator and to discuss with them all the topics regarding the export. The third mission is the business intelligence, as we provide, or we try to provide all the needed information to the exporter to support them in their decision-making process. And the last but not least is the export promotion, as we are in charge of the promotion of all food export all over the world. So just to give you a quick vision of the positioning of the Moroccan food export in the world, we are among the top 5 exporters for many products. We are first exporter, for example, for capers, for green beans, for sardines, of course, for argan oil. We are second worldwide exporter of frozen octopus, third, fourth for small citrus or for tomato. So this is just to tell you how this is a strategic segment and how Morocco is a big exporter. And we, during the pandemic crisis, we should talk about the resilience of agricultural segment and fisheries segment too, because Morocco succeeds to provide its local market, but also to respect all its engagement toward its international client, despite all the constraints, mainly in terms of logistics, etc. So we export all over the world. We have many FTAs with different countries or areas, with the EU, of course, with UK, with United States. And we have three main segments of export. We have the fresh fruit and vegetables. We export about 2.2 million tons per year, and we export all over the world. We have a very large variety of products in terms of vegetables, in terms of fruit, in terms of citrus, particularly small citrus. We have different varieties from, we start in October and until April. And the second segment is all what is about the processed food. So we mainly export olive oil, canned olives, juice, capers, and a very large variety of products. And finally, we have the seafood product. So as I said, we are the first exporter of sardines. So we have frozen product, we have preserved fish, we also have meal fish and olive fish. So this is just to give you a quick idea of the potential that we have in Morocco in terms of export. Now we're trying to move towards more export of processed food, because we have a very huge potential in that in Morocco, because of three main reasons. The first one is that we have very good and quality product. The second one is that we have a very interesting geographical position that opens door to Europe, to Africa, to America. And the third one, and this is why you will present, Mr. Arash, is the result. All this performance is a result of a vision for the agricultural and fisheries sector that started 10 years ago, and that will be consolidated with the new strategy that you will present, Mr. Arash. Thank you.
Thank you, Madame Rita. You talk about food expansion, about Moroccan position in food international trade. You talked about the Moroccan export in general, the quality and the positioning and the competitive advantage of Morocco. Thank you for this explanation. And we are going to screen right now a film on Green Morocco Plan and Green Generation. You have the floor.
Located at the crossroads of civilizations, Morocco has always cultivated its openness to the world. Because of its human capital, business climate, and infrastructure meeting international standards, it is a preferred destination for investors. To develop its economy, Morocco relies on ambitious sectoral strategies in the fields of tourism, renewable energies, industry, fisheries, trade, and digitalization. In order to make agriculture a key driver of its economic development, Morocco has adopted the Green Morocco Plan in 2008. The agricultural sector is a key component of the economy. With 9 million hectares of cultivated land, it accounts for 19% of the national GDP and 80% of the jobs in the rural world. The Green Morocco Plan is a strategy that concerns all regions of the kingdom, all sectors, and all farmers. Morocco offers a fertile ground for investment in the agricultural sector through a variety of measures that were implemented under the Green Morocco Plan. By offering an attractive and promising business climate, notably through a legal and regulatory framework specific to the sector, In particular, the law on the interprofessional organizations, the law on agricultural aggregation, and the law on the health safety of food products. Access to land through a public-private partnership with the government, a dedicated incentive system through the Agricultural Development Fund, adapted insurance and financing products, a specific tax framework, appropriate logistics and agro-industrial infrastructure, privileged access to domestic and international markets. 10 years after its launch, its achievements are in line with the ambitions set in 2008. Considerable progress has been made in the field of solidarity agriculture. The upgrading of agricultural cooperatives and the establishment of value-added units have enabled boosting local products. High value-added agriculture has also witnessed strong growth, both through public-private partnerships and agricultural aggregation, in perfect synergy with the sector through interprofessional organizations. Through the Green Morocco Plan, agriculture has attracted significant investment. State aid increased by 112%. These investments have significantly boosted the economic and social performance of the agricultural sector. Agricultural GDP increased by 5.25%, almost double the national economic growth rate. Agricultural exports have increased by more than double. The Green Morocco Plan has also created 350,000 additional jobs and increased the number of working days per year and per worker. This agricultural growth was not achieved at the expense of sustainable development. Rather the opposite. To save water, the areas equipped with drip irrigation have witnessed more than a fourfold increase. And measures for climate change adaptation have been taken, such as the conversion of cereals into fruit trees, soil, and biodiversity conservation. Agriculture has transitioned to Agriculture 2.0 with the introduction of increasingly innovative technologies to optimize agricultural activities. All these achievements were made possible through a reform of governance and agricultural institutions. The Agency for Agricultural Development was created in 2009 to support the implementation of the strategy. The ADA plays a facilitating role with the various stakeholders in the agricultural sector by promoting the national supply of agricultural and agro-industrial investment. It is involved in many areas, such as land mobilization, the development of agricultural aggregation projects, etc. The development of solidarity agriculture, the promotion of local products, the mobilization of financing, engineering, and project monitoring. The ADA also plays an important role in sustainable development, for which ADA has earned its accreditation with the Adaptation Fund and the Green Climate Fund, and has been enabled access to funding from these donors. Today, the dynamic generated by the Green Morocco Plan is set to be reinforced within the framework of a new vision for the agricultural sector. It will comply with the high directives set by His Majesty King Mohammed VI in order to consolidate the achievements of the Green Morocco Plan and further improve living conditions in the rural world with a view to fostering the emergence of a rural middle class.
إن القطاع الفلاحي يمكن أن يشكل خزاناً أكثر دينامية للتشغيل ولتحسين ظروف العيش والاستقرار بالعالم القروي. لذا ندعو لتعزيز المكاسب المحققة في الميدان الفلاحي وخلق المزيد من فرص الشغل والدخل، وخاصة لفائدة الشباب القروي. غايتنا انبثاق وتقوية طبقة وسطى فلاحية وجعلها عامل توازن ورافعة للتنمية الاقتصادية والاجتماعية على غرار الدور الهام للطبقة الوسطى في المدن.
Thank you, the Agricultural Development Agency for this nice film on Green Morocco Plan and Green Generation. Thank you very much. So for the next step, we are going to have two presentations, one by myself on Green Morocco Plan, and the second presentation on the investment opportunities will be given by my friend, the General Manager of Agricultural Development Agency, Mr. Mehdi Al-Rifi. So I'm very pleased to be here today in Dubai, in this friendly country, and to present you the pathways for a sustainable agricultural development from Green Morocco Plan to Green Generation. So to start, let me just explain that the importance of the agricultural sector. Food and agriculture are at the center of the 2030 agenda. As you see, every goal from the 17 SDGs are linked directly or indirectly to the food and agriculture. Food system and agriculture influence all the aspects of human development. As you see in this wheel, if we want to end hunger, we need to produce food. If we want to create equity and gender inclusion, we have to reform land tenure. If we want to fight against climate change, agriculture is at the forefront of climate change, and everything is linked to agriculture. That's why Morocco put the agriculture at the top of his priority in terms of policy decades ago. So for that, after decades of agricultural development policy in Morocco, came the Green Morocco Plan. It's a strategy that was designed to trigger agricultural transformation. To summarize this strategy, this nice building summarize all the strategy. It's simple to summarize. Why? Because the strategy is well designed and understood by everybody. The first one is the vision. We have a vision which is overarching all the strategy. How to make agriculture the driving force of economic and social development in Morocco. This vision or this goal rely on two pillars. The first one is the development of modern agriculture in Morocco, and the second pillar is the integration of small-scale farming or small-scale farms in Morocco. How? By bringing investment into the sector, because in the past the sector suffered from a low level of investment, and with Green Morocco Plan we bring money, we bring means to the sector to invest in sector and to improve its productivity. But it's not enough. To do that, we need to overhaul all the sector or the sector framework, and we need to improve the cross-cutting factors or cross-cutting strategies. So to succeed in this strategy, we have also to reform the water system, to reform the land mobilization, to develop exports, and to overhaul the institutional legally framework. So all these cross-cutting strategies are very important to support all what is doing inside the Green Morocco Plan. As you see in the film prepared by Ada, you see the main achievement of our strategy or outcomes and impacts. So I will not speak here about the achievements nor figures, but just give some lesson learned from this decade of Green Morocco Plan implementation. The first one in the vision. So to transform your food system, you need to transform your agriculture. To transform your agriculture, you need a vision. Set an ambitious goals and realistic objectives. So dream, be ambitious, but have realistic objectives. Second thing is the leadership. It's very important. One of the main lessons we learned from our experience is the leadership should inspire the team by acting as an example for collaborators to take commitment and to work hard and believe in your strategy. It's important. This is very crucial for the case of Morocco. And the financing. Agriculture development need means, need to mobilize finance to render justice to the sector. Why? Because in the past, the sector count for 40% of total employment in the country. The sector produce to ensure the food security. The sector produce is a source of living for 40% of the population, and its contribution to the GDP is about 50 or 60 or 15 or 16%. But when it comes to the budget allocation, we discovered that the share of public investment is very low. It wasn't exceeding 5%. And it's an unbalanced situation. With Green Morocco Plan, we balance the situation by bringing more means to the sector to render justice to the farmers. The fourth thing, much more important, is the partnership. We can't run or carry out a strategy, implement a strategy, succeed in strategy without concluding partnership with all stakeholders. And at the top of these stakeholders are farm organizations. Look, farmer organizations are important to help you to implement the strategy on the ground. You need to have a strong governance also, is very important, and territorial-based solution, local solution, because the strategy when designed as a whole vision of the sector of the for the transformation of the sector. When we want to implement the strategy, we should take in account the specificity of regions and all subnational levels. The institutional and regulatory framework is important, must be adapted to facilitate the implementation and project execution. Here I can, for example, talk about this one-stop shop we put in place to make it easier for people to benefit from all incentives put in place to encourage investment in agriculture. It's very important. And finally, the communication. We need to keep posted all people, all citizens, because it's public funding, and we have to communicate to explain them why we are bringing money, why what we are doing with this money, and what outcomes and impacts are expected from this money. This is very important. So some results from the Green Morocco Plan. For example, the increase in food availability for all foodstuff, we observe an increase in food availability, which contributes a lot to the food security of Morocco. Second one is the positive evolution of foodstuff coverage rates. We covered our needs by, for example, 65% for cereals, 47% for sugar, and almost 100% for the rest of foodstuff like milk, white meat, and red meat. And all these are good and successful results from this strategy. Something important is the resilience. The agricultural growth become less volatile. If we compare the situation, the present situation, and the situation before the Green Morocco Plan, we observe easily that the volatility was high, and now this volatility is decreased a lot compared to this period. When we speak about volatility, we speak about sometimes we have a climate disaster like drought, for example, who affect a lot the income of farmers, and this volatility make people suffering from the loss of jobs, the decrease in income, and maybe the need to import food from foreign countries. Now, with Green Morocco Plan, this resilience has been built to see that even with droughts, we can't witness a big decrease, for example, in the value added by the agricultural sector. So the volatility is less than what it was in the past. One of the most important achievements also with Green Morocco Plan is the conversion to water economic technologies. We succeed the conversion of more than 600,000 hectares from flood irrigation to the drip irrigation. It's important. Before the Green Morocco Plan, 9% of the arable land, irrigated arable land, was were equipped with drip irrigation, and now we reach 40% of the land, irrigated land, equipped with drip irrigation, and it's a big revolution in the sector. So today, the agricultural sector, after these 12 years of implementation, is undergoing a structural transformation. When we speak about structural transformation, we have 4 things, for example, to talk about. The first one is the use of labor versus capital. For example, in traditional agriculture, the labor is more important than the capital, and with the modern agriculture, the capital is much more important than the labor. So this ratio is important to see how the agriculture is undergoing a structural transformation. And one example here is before the Green Morocco Plan, we were at 42% of the total employment provided by agricultural sector. Now only 32% thanks to the modernization of the sector. The second thing is the source of growth. The growth comes from what? From the extension of or expansion of area, from productivity, or from what? In Morocco, within the Green Morocco Plan, the growth came from the total factor productivity. What is it? Is all things out of work, labor and capital. Out of labor and capital means that the institutions are improved, the investing conditions are good, the quality control is good, the know-how has improved. Donc, all these things, the education is improved, the research and development is improved. These things give the improvement or create the improvement of total factor productivity. Third one is the resilience. So in Morocco, with the conversion from the flood irrigation to the drip irrigation, we produce more with less water. Thanks to this investment, as I explained before, the growth is less volatile. The last thing is the traceability and food safety. Investment in food safety is important to make your product to have a good quality of your product. But despite this structural transformation and achievement we reached with Green Morocco Plan, the agricultural sector needs to meet new challenges like climate changes. For example, the country is prone to climate change effects and droughts. So we should keep working on resilience of the sector. We have commitment within the Climate Paris Agreement or Paris Binding. It's important. So climate change is very important. It's a challenging issue for Moroccan agriculture. The sustainability of food system. And this year, in September, the Food System Summit held in New York in September spoke and talked about the need to change our food system because of the COVID-19, who shows and revealed the fragilities of our food system. We need to meet the growing food demand for our population, and the middle class rise. Donc people need more food, more quality and diverse food, etc. So the food system transformation summit, which calls to a sharp bend in the way we are producing our food, is important. So there is many issues on the table: the health, the ecological transition, the environment protection, etc., etc. So all these challenges should be met by the new strategy. Third thing is the digital transformation. Donc everything is going digital, as you see around ourselves, and the inclusion, because the present food system worldwide, not only in Morocco, is unfair, because farmers and their families are the first who are subject to market risks and climate-related disaster. So we need to address some issues like income volatility by improving insurance plans, low rate of social protection. Farmers need and their families need social protections. The inclusion also of the women in agriculture, and finally the continuity of agriculture by attracting young people to the sector, by making the sector not a way of subsistence, but a business sector for this young population. And finally, the new strategy, Green Generation, is a strategic response to the new challenges. We have two fundamentals, the red one and the green one. The red one stands for the priority to human capital. Human capital is important, so the new strategy give special attention to this fundamental. Among the axes composing this fundamental is how to enable 400,000 households in rural area to do middle class, to ensure a universal social protection for everybody in rural area, and other measures are explained here, presented here. And we have the second fundamental, which is the sustainability of agricultural development. We should consolidate and sustain what we achieved so far within the Green Morocco plan. We have new ambitions like doubling the GDP of agriculture, doubling our exports. Also, we need to improve the distribution channels. It's important to make agriculture more efficient, improve quality and innovation, and the digital transformation in the agriculture, and finally the resilience and eco-efficiency of the agriculture by improving more the productivity of water used in agriculture. So this is the new strategy, Green Generation 2020-2030, and thank you for your for following this presentation. Thank you. So I give the floor to Mr. Mehdi Rifi. ستقدم لنا عرضا حول فرص الاستثمار في القطاع الفلاحي. تفضل سيد مهدي.
Thank you, Mr. Arash. My presentation is prepared in Arabic, so I will speak in Arabic. شكرا سي عراش. فكما تفضلتم بذلك فعرضي سيتناول الاستثمار الفلاحي وفرصه في المملكة المغربية، ودور يعني وكالة التنمية الفلاحية في تشجيع هذا الاستثمار. وبالمناسبة فوكالة التنمية الفلاحية هي مؤسسة عمومية تابعة لوصاية وزارة الفلاحة والصيد البحري والتنمية القروية والمياه الغابات بالمملكة المغربية. فعرضي سيتناول هذه الفرص الاستثمارية والشراكة بين القطاع الخاص والقطاع العام PPP، وكذلك الفرص والتحديات الجديدة فيما يسمى بالاستثمار الأخضر. سأبدأ بعملية الشراكة بين الدولة والقطاع الخاص حول أراضي التابعة لملك الدولة. فهذه من التجارب المعروفة جدا والتي عشناها في ال10 سنوات الأخيرة في إطار مخطط المغرب الأخضر، كما أشار إلى ذلك السيد عراش قبل قليل في تقديمه في عرضه. فهذه العملية تمكن يعني المستثمرين الخواص كانوا مغاربة أو أجانب من كراء أراضي فلاحية تابعة للدولة لمدة طويلة الأمد، قد تصل، سنرى ذلك بعد قليل، قد تصل إلى 40 سنة. وهذا المستثمرين الخواص يتعهدون بإنجاز مشاريع
to accomplish investment projects in agriculture over the 40 years. As we have said, we need to make best use of the agriculture and to have added value, and also to improve the productivity, and also to create job opportunities to people in the rural areas. As we said that the use of land can be up from 17 years to 40 years according to the production. For example, with fruit trees, the use of the land can be up to 40 years, and when it comes to cattle, it can be up to 25 years. And but it's so important that the investors would be selected according to bids and their proposals. This process, first the investors would submit their proposals, and the investors, whether they are from Morocco or foreign investors, the foreign investors, after such a process, we reach that the investors can invest in 112,000 hectares, and especially investors from United Arab Emirates or from Saudi Arabia, they are investing in the agriculture in Morocco, even from South Africa, also from Europe, from Paris, from Spain. They are investing in agricultural sector in Morocco. This was according to their proposals. Also, we have 4 ministries that are in charge of the assessment of the proposals and the bids that are submitted by the foreign investors, and they are responsible for signing the partnership agreements with those investors. In addition to the partnerships, there are many other new opportunities in agriculture. You can invest in processed food. So we need to be in line with the modern technology through having partnerships with foreign investors and also investors inside Morocco. And also we are establishing in Morocco, we have 7 new agriculture sectors which would give new opportunities for investment regarding facilities and also processed food, and also pricing, and also platforms for exporting the agricultural products. As Ms. Gita said in her presentation. And also the agricultural organizations can bring all the institutions together, whether Morocco Fodex or the National Office for Food Safety, and also agricultural consultations also are included in these 4 main facilities. In addition to agricultural facilities, also the investors can contribute to the capital of the companies in the existing companies. So there are potentials that the investors can contribute to the capital of the companies. So it may be 100% or 60% of the capital of the existing companies. And also we have aggregation, agricultural aggregation. So we have a win-win situation where the farmers can win and also the companies can win. So in terms of distribution of agricultural products, and this is secured by the law. We have a law in Morocco which regulate the relation in a specific. It can states the commitments of the aggregation of the farmers, and also to ensure the marketing of the products of those farmers. For the producing farmers, they have duties and responsibilities. They should commit to the technical process of the production, and also to submit the products in local markets or international markets according to the standards. Also, there's another kind of new opportunities for investors in relation to project engineering. ADA is producing many books and many publications to attract and to encourage investment. And these manuals or publications can tell you all the process regarding the investment. And it's written in Arabic and English and French. And also it can state all the economic references, especially when it comes to different technical process, and also the added value, and also the accomplishment of projects. In our agency, we are coordinating with all sectors and organizations and institutions through providing information and the data, and also the technology, and also to encourage the partnership, and also to establish relations with the stakeholders, to have common investment projects with other investors at the global level, and also to follow up the investment projects. The agency, our agency, is providing the climate, the investment climate in Morocco. We can't talk too much about this issue. We explain to the investors the incentive system for the investors, because it's very encouraging to have investment in Morocco. Also, we have the regulatory framework, which now is more organized, and it's so professional, and as the level of farmers, and it has been advanced. And this is the result of the achievements of the Green Morocco plan. Also, we are looking for the diversification of the investors, including foreign investors, and also we provide insurance and insurance systems and funding. And also we have here agricultural loan in Morocco, and also we are interested in external and foreign markets in cooperation with Morocco Fodex, and also we cooperate with all institutes, and also we are concerned with food safety and agriculture research and everything related to the qualification and rehabilitation of human capital. I will close my presentation with green investment. We have challenges today that you are facing. We are working on this in the ministry, so we need to turn to the green energy. We are using solar energy, and this is very important for the agriculture strategy. Solar energy is important for pumping and irrigation, and also feeding system, and also to use the wastes to produce the energy, especially the biogas. The second issue, also we are working on providing and supplying irrigation water and mobilizing irrigation water, and it's important because the ministry is mobilizing and distributing and saving the irrigation water in the light of sustainable development through the mobilization of water resources. And also we have a trend to the desalination of the seawater. And also we are planning to have desalination plant that would supply water, and it will irrigate about 15,000 hectares, especially for the fruit trees, and also to follow up the accomplishment of projects and to transform the traditional water irrigation to dripping water irrigation system, and also to mobilize and to collect the water rain, and also this is through the Atlas Mountains, and also this kind of nature and the mountains can enable us to save and store the rainwater, and we can also prepare facilities to collect such kind of water. And also we are talking about the adaptation projects and to reduce the green gases, and this is extremely important regarding the agriculture in the upcoming 10 years. So the agency has a great role because it's an approved and accredited agency. The adaptation projects is based on critical and delicate agriculture, and also to encourage bio and organic agriculture, and also to reclaim lands. This is very important, and this can be included in the heart of sustainable development, and also to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. The Agricultural Development Agency is accredited by the Climate Fund and the Green Planet Fund, and they are playing a critical role through such funds. especially the Green Climate Fund, as this is done through investments with low emissions. Here we are having a partnership between the private and the public sector to fund projects with low emissions. These proposals for such projects are submitted to the Green Planet Fund and the Climate Fund. And such projects are around the green infrastructure and clean energy and modern agriculture. In 2012, the agency was approved by Adaptation Climate Fund, which is based in Washington in United States, and also it was approved by the the Climate Fund as well. And also through such accreditation, many projects were funded. And the same as we talked about the projects that we talked about it in the last Friday. And due to the importance of our work with the Green Climate Fund, our agency was accredited in June this year. And this accreditation help to reduce the risks, and also we can mobilize up to $50 million to $50 million per each project to implement the projects in relation to the climate adaptation. So these projects are done within the partnership with the investors. This is my presentation. I tried quickly to provide investment opportunities in agriculture. I talked about processed food. I talked about the capital. I talked about the business climate. I talked about the challenges and the new challenges imposed by the climate change. Thanks. شكرا جزيلا على العرض. You have been talking about the potentials of investment and the proposals for investment and opportunities, and also the funding and financing from the green funds, and also because of the impacts of climate changes. لقد وصلنا إلى نهاية هذه الجلسة.
For attending this conference. Thank you for your time, and thank you for our panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you.